Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about the Huawei network simulator called eNSP. As you can see here, eNSP is pretty much similar with the packet tracers of Cisco devices. The main functions of the software is to simulate our network design. eNSP has a GUI inside it. As you can see here, in the left side, there's a list of devices that are available to use in simulating our network design, such as routers, switches, wireless LAN, firewall, and devices, the cloud, and the connection link. So in this section, I want to talk about these main features and the functions of Huawei eNSP and how we can get this eNSP and try to install it to our own computer. Before we start installing the eNSP, make sure that we already download the softwares in the Huawei support website. I already put the link in description below for the eNSP link. But before you start to download this eNSP, make sure that you already registered to the support website. After you log in, and then you can try to download this software. eNSP have a few list of versions that able to download, but I suggest for this part we try to download this 330 versions of the eNSP. So after you log in to this website or the support website, just try to click the green button here to download this eNSP and then save it to your directory. Okay, after you download this package, try to install this eNSP just like common installations of program. After you finish installation, open up the eNSP and you see here the guide page at the first time you open up the eNSP. If you still uncheck this button, you will still see this guide page every time you log in or every time you start this eNSP. So this is the shortcut button to create a new eNSP project, and then this is the sample of common topology that given by the eNSP, and this is the reason or this the previous topology that we did before. And the last thing is the learn how to use the eNSP. Basically, it's coming from the help topics. Before you start to simulate network using eNSP, make sure that you already have a clear understanding about the feature of eNSP and familiarize with this workspace or this framework of the eNSP. In order to do that, I suggest to you to read these help topics first before you continue start to simulate the network. So in these help topics, I really recommend that you read all the informations that given below. It gives you detailed information about the eNSP and also give you detailed information about the devices that are available and feature that given by each of this device, such as switch. You see in here, switch all already support eNSTP, SEP, IPv6, basic MPLS, and router also support PPPoE and NAT, DHCP, IP routing protocol, and then security, MPLS, MPLS-TE, etc. And all the things that related to the feature of the eNSP. Configuring multicast, for example, and then device configurations using CLI and system requirements. This eNSP actually only available for the Windows operating system, and also there is a FAQ for you that have some little trouble when you're operating this eNSP. I suggest that you read this FAQ first before asking to other friends or colleagues. So this is the help topics that we need to read or learn it before we continue to simulate this network design. So now we start to have detailed information about this eNSP itself. I will tell you about the every things that we can use in the eNSP. From the menu here, you see this is provided file, edit, view, or tools that we can use it in this eNSP. User interface, the CLI, mode, the font if you want to change, server for the client server, tools. This is the tools to set the limit or the memory, limiting the memory of the devices. And then we have toolbar here. This is the common tools that we use in creating the topology. Delete lines, create a text. This is a text, and create a palette if you want to draw something, just like this one. Zoom in, zoom out. This is the reset, and this one is button to store the devices. This for capturing the data. Show interface. So for this one, I will show you guys after we start these devices. And then in the left side of this eNSP, it's a network device area, the device list that available in supporting simulations in eNSP. There's a router here, switches, wireless LAN. For detailed information, you see in the bottom line of this network device area. This is consists of 2410 100 gigabit Ethernet interface, one console interface, one management interface, one USB interface, and then this is the workspace to allow you create a topology. So that's the main interface of the eNSP, and then after this one we try to simulate a simple topology with the eNSP. To simulate the network, we just simply drag and drop this router or device that available in the network device area, or just simply click left click and then put in workspace like this one. So in this part, I want to simulate the connections between R1 and R2. In order to communicate these two routers, we need the connection link. So open up the connections in the network device area, and then choose whatever connection that or you want to simulate. If you're not sure what kind of cable that able to connect these two routers, you just click auto. But if you already know about the interface of these two routers, you can choose whatever interface or whatever connection you want to. Now I want to use a gigabit Ethernet to connect between these two routers, so I use copper cable and then choose the GE000 and connect this R2 in a GE001. So before we start these two devices, I want to make some little descriptions in the R1 and R2. I want to create this R1 IP address to 192.168.1.1/30, and then for the interface to R1 in R2 is 192.168.1.2./30. After created description like this, we start this both two router using this button. The router is not directly started yet because it needs times to boot up the software of this router. So after we start this device, we need to configure are created simple configurations in both router. So to enter the CLI mode of this both router, we open the CLI with this button. As you can see here, I will run these two routers. Both R1 and R2 already up. So this is the CLI mode of both router. I'm gonna try to configure the IP address for this router. After we created IP address in both router, we can try to ping each other. The next thing is I want to capture packet between R1 and R2. So I try to ping from R1, give it the counting of 200 to R2, and in R2 I want to capture packet, incoming packet that's coming from R1. Right click in the R2, capture data, and choose the interface that belongs or that going to R1. After you choose this one, it will automatically open up the Wireshark and check the ping packet that incoming from the R1. This is the detailed information. The R1 sends a request for a quick pinging, and R2 replied the ping to the R1. So this is the main feature of Huawei Network Simulator eNSP. I hope you guys enjoy these introductions, and please subscribe to get more information about the tutorial for data communications. Thanks for watching and bye.